All right, I'm back with David Durnell, co-owner. Is it safe to call you co-owner, even when you're
Otherwise, my brother he gets all his feathers get up in
All right, so let's talk about financing and why you do financing.
Absolutely. We started out. This is 23, 24 years, right? We're right at the border crossing over, and for the first 3 years, we didn't offer financing at all.
Yeah.
But we kept having a situation come up that was really unbearable. And when people get here, first thing we do is take them out their camper. Because then they know I'm actually getting what I bought, right? And all my options are there, the color's right. So just
they're excited.
Sure, and they want to see it. And it relaxes them, right? And then, again, they want to see it. They're spending a lot of money. They want to go out and touch this thing and see it. So long story short, we take them out. They do a walkthrough. We show them how to use everything. We bring them back inside for paperwork, and this terrible thing kept happening, right? We would tell people, hey, we can't take letters of credit. And if you don't know, a letter of credit is a letter from your bank with their letterhead, right? And it says that when we get the title done with the bank as a lien holder, they'll send us a check. Okay. The problem is our bank wouldn't allow us to accept those letters.
Oh, wow.
So, and a lot of people would even do their due diligence. They'd call the credit union, they'd call their local bank and say, got to make sure I can get a check. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, in a lot of small banks, especially, the president actually still signs the checks. Yeah. He'd see they're going, buying from an hour away, 24 hours away. You see what I'm saying? Right. And be like, oh man, we can't do this. Just give them this letter. Okay. And they would assure the people that we can take the letter.
Is it basically an IOU for you?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So they would get here and, they've seen the trailer. The worst part is the kids have picked out the bunks. Yeah. Right? Everybody knows what area is theirs. The dog's even got his corner. And then they hand us that letter and we have to say, I'm sorry, we can't take this.
Right. And that was before you started financing.
Before we started
financing,
right.
At that moment. Okay.
Not a thing. Once in a while someone would scramble and try to get on the phone and get a wire transfer. But we couldn't take it. So you would watch them literally walk out of the dealership, kids in tears, sometimes mom, dad mad. Yeah. And obviously they're not coming back. Right. So we just lost the deal, and we feel terrible because they traveled here. So we started offering financing to try to avoid some of that, right? And the craziest thing happened. We get the first deal done. We send in the paperwork. It gets funded, is what they call it. Yeah. And we get a check from them for quite a bit of money. Right. From the bank. Yeah. So we call the bank. We're like, hey, I think you made a mistake. We got this check. No, that's your participation. What?
So it's like commission.
Yeah, you get paid for doing a loan, right? Wow. We're like, wow, that's crazy. Well, long story short, not many people were participating in the financing. So we had the idea, you know what, we didn't do this as a way to make money, right? We didn't even know you could make money. Yeah. So we started offering that money to the customer, right? So if you and your wife buy a camper and you do your loan through us, we give you the money. Yeah. It made the campers even more affordable too. I mean, quite a bit more affordable. Right. What's funny is you fast forward 20 years and everyone copies what we do except the service and that. Wow. You know what I mean? So in 15, 20 years, not one dealer in the United States gives people the money that bank gives them. We can't even find a car dealer, a boat dealer, an ATV dealer. You know what I mean? Right. No one. But they all talk bad about it because they're worried, scared to death. You and your wife are going to say to them, hey, we talked to RV Wholesalers. They give us the money the bank gives you. Yeah. And the first thing they do, I just had a dealer do it to me when I was buying my last truck. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you do. Yeah. Right? Right. So I laid it all. He's like, oh no, our banks don't do that. Well, we do business with the same banks.
Did you get your money?
I got my money.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, awesome. It's a thing that we teach in our webinars too. To tell people how to get more money off when they buy.
So how much are you talking?
Oh geez. Usually
I'm sure it varies, but
if you figure 2 to 4%,
okay, they're
getting somewhere in between there. We have one bank that we have to pay $75. Okay. For customers that have credit issues. But other than that, every bank pays us. The minimum is 2%. Normally it's closer to 4%. Wow. So it can be a lot of money. It can be a drastic amount.
So when you give this money back to them, you take it off the price of the RV, or do you cut them a check and say, here's $2,000?
No, we take it off the price because then it also saves them taxes.
Okay.
They won't have as much interest to pay throughout the loan. They also don't have to pay the tax on that amount of money. So it saves them even additional money to do it that way.
So would you say, for lack of better words, it's a waste of time for them to go looking at their own bank and get stuff taken care of before they come to you?
Well, I mean, we don't want to tell people that they can't use their own bank, but I always say the same thing. And this is kind of funny how this is working out, but my son is getting engaged very soon. Sorry if his girlfriend's watching. I just blew that whole thing. I'm probably in a world of trouble. But in all seriousness, his father-in-law, to-be, works at a bank.
Okay.
And he's like, well, I guess I'll get my loans there. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to get the best loan. You're going to get the best interest rate. And you're going to make sure that they have participation for you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's funny because I tell customers that all the time. They'll say, well, my brother-in-law works at this credit union. My mom's a teller here. Right? I've done all my banking for generations at this bank. Mm-hmm. And I get that. I do all my banking at one major bank, right? Yeah. A little bank in the center of town where I live. But I always ask this question to the customer. Are they going to pay you to finance through them?
Yeah. Probably,
well, no.
Most of the time, customers probably
they always
have
say
no idea what you're talking about.
Right, and you teach them,
yeah.
And they always say no, and I always say the same thing. You go wherever you want, but why go there if this bank's going to give you money?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is customer service.
Yeah.
Everybody works hard for their money. Everybody deserves the best price, right? Everybody deserves incredible service. And what we're saying is, if you go through one of the banks we do business with, which, by the way, all the other dealers do business with them,
yeah,
we'll give you the money the bank gives us.
Awesome.
And that's the way it should be.
All right. Cool. So there you go. That's good news for you, especially if you're thinking of financing an RV. If you want a new RV, there's only one place to go. It's RV Wholesalers. We'll see you guys next time.